Magic is real. It's called spiritual awakening. When you awaken spiritually and you remember who you are, that is the higher self, source, God, the universe, whatever, you realize that you actually created everything. Since you are a drop of source that chose to incarnate itself in this 3D world of ours in order to have an experience of life as it is possible in this 3D world of ours, you are therefore part and parcel of Source. You are therefore part and parcel of the creating force that is Source. Therefore, when you remember that you are one with Source, that you are one with everything and everyone, you realize that you have all the power you need to create the world, the life you want to live in. And if that is not magic, I don't know what is. Some people might say that magic is, shooting up fireballs from your fingers, Dungeon and Dragon style. Yeah, sure, fine. That is all fine and well. And, I've read my share and still am reading my share of fantasy books, and I love that. But the reality, at least the way we see life, is oftentimes limited. Even in fantasy, like I said, to think that magic is shooting out fireballs from your fingertips, that is limited. Reality is always limited because reality in this 3D world of ours is governed by ego, is governed by the law of duality in this world. That is, if there is good, there has to be bad. If there is bad, there has to be good and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is that once you realize that what you are is Source, then reality is just the stage. But you are not only the director, but the actors too. And also you are neither of them. It's almost like you are the screen upon which a movie is shot, but you are the director and the actors of said movie. But at the same time, when the movie ends, the screen is still there. You are still there. But you created the movie. And so if that is not magic, if that is not total control of your life, once and only once you remember who you are, aka you've had a spiritual awakening, then I don't know what magic is. Because when I was not yet spiritually awakened, I used to live in a world of limitations. I used to believe that there were things that I couldn't do. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about the physical laws of the 3D world we live in. For example, I might, think that I am a bird if I jump off a cliff or the 14th floor, on a skyscraper. I will hit the floor and die. At least the body that I inhabit will die. The real me, that is Source, will not die. I will go back to the higher self, aka me, and choose, if I want to come back in a different incarnation. So, just like there are rules in the dreams that you dream at night, there are rules in this 3D world of ours, because at the end of the day, this world of ours is nothing more than God's dream, right? So there are rules. But within the realms of those rules, when you remember who you are, and you remember that for all intent and purposes, you are not the dream, but the dreamer. You are not the observed, but the observer. You are not the movie, but you are everything that allowed the movie to exist And also and especially you are the screen upon which the movie is playing. And you can change everything and anything in your life the moment you realize that. I know this video might come across as wishful thinking to some, as told BS to others. That is all fine and well. Again, we live in a world of duality, so if there are people who will understand what I'm talking about, there will be people who will not understand what I'm talking about. If there are people who think that what I'm saying is BS, there are people who will think that and know that what I say is not BS, right? If there are people who think that what I'm saying is wishful thinking, others will know for a fact that what I'm talking about is real. How do you think, why do you think that there are people who, succeed at every single thing they do? That there are people who manage to have the life of their dreams? These people, for all intent and purposes, on some level, have had a spiritual awakening. And I'm talking about the people who do that through unconditional love. Because you can also access the life of your dreams, if you will, focusing on the negative polarity of this world of ours, aka making others suffer, lying to them, using them. And so the result will be, at least temporarily, material gain. But that doesn't take away the fact that by doing that, you anchor yourself deeper and deeper in the 3D world that we live in, forgetting who you really are. And one day or another, when you are like that, when you are a person who succeeded thanks to using and abusing others, aka focusing on the negative polarity of this world, one day or another, your just comeuppance will come. And you will have a huge reality check. Some people say, when I say things like that, and they come up with examples of well-known people who used and abused people and live a long and happy life. You don't know if their life was happy. You know that they had material gains. You know that they were immensely wealthy for some of them. But you don't know how they were truly inside. And when they gave their last breath, you don't know how they were in their head when they did that, So, provided that you stick to the positive polarity, the polarity of doing things out of unconditional love for yourself and others, remembering fully well who you are, aka the higher self, then this life can truly be magical. This life can truly give you what you want. Be it love, money, friends, a family, traveling, whatever it is. As long as you do it out of unconditional love for yourself and others, remembering full well that you are source, therefore you created everything and everyone, therefore you are, even though you are a drop of source in this 3D reality, you still hold within your hand the power of creation, of source. And that is real magic. That is what will allow you to create the life you want. And if you do not want to have to suffer the comeuppance of making others suffer because you lied to them or abused them or hurt them in any way, shape, or form, then stick to doing everything you do out of unconditional love for yourself and others. And you'll see the magic. You'll see how it works. It is quite phenomenal when you truly understand how it works, when you truly understand that you are the creator of your own life, then things that can come across as magical happen to you when for all intent and purposes, they are happening to you because you are aligned with who you are, that is Source. And Source being the creator, Source being the origin of everything that is in this world and was and will be, then it stands to reason that you hold within you a drop of this creative power. It's entirely up to you if you choose to use it for good or bad in this 3D world of ours that is, again, ruled by duality. I humbly recommend you to use it for good.